welcome to week 4 of the Blue Zone. Myself and Willie here, chilling in the library this week. How you doing, big man?
Yeah, not bad actually. Scotland won the Calcutta Cup yesterday for the first time in 10 years, so I think it's going to be quite a quiet morning today.
A lot of sore heads, do you think?
Quite a lot of sore heads.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, it's been a good week. We had a Conference Cup semi-finals, obviously huge in terms of a fixture. We had the second team, rugby, winning their first ever game. It's been a really great week on the rugby side of things actually, and all across the sport. How about Free Sport Fridays?
Free Sport Fridays was tremendous, yeah. We had netball this week, which followed also our successful Tartan Touch rugby session off the back of a good week there. Numbers are steadily growing in Free Sport Fridays. I'm pretty happy with how we're getting in terms of numbers, and hopefully next week with badminton coming in we'll get a few more bodies along too. Be nice to see it getting busier and busier. People are starting to hopefully pick up on it and
that'll be cracking.
Enjoy it, yeah.
Obviously getting more people every week, so important for growing it, isn't it? You know, really important for getting people along and the exposure and everything for it as well.
Yeah, I mean obviously the product itself, it's Free Sport Fridays. People are actually, now that they've been a couple of times, are really enjoying it, and hopefully those of you out there who maybe either seen it, haven't heard of it or thinking about it will be inclined to want to come along. You know, I think it's class. It's absolutely brilliant, and this week's badminton, as I say, so hopefully we'll get a really good session. What we've got this week for you guys is quite a relaxed week with feedback week coming up, as we've got the results, fixtures for next week, and then Will and I's head to head. So will we crack on with the results?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Perfect.
So Ross, let's get into the results from last week. What have we got?
First up, we've got the men's football. Men's ones were playing a really tightly contested fixture up at Aberdeen ones in the Cup, but unfortunately came away with a 3-1 loss. The men's twos lost 3-1 to their counterparts St Andrews twos in a league fixture, and the women's football had a fantastic result. They came from behind in a 1-0 deficit to draw 1-1 and take it to penalties, and went on to win in penalties against Stirling twos, taking them all the way to the Conference Cup final for the very first time.
Nice. And over at Charlotte Street we had both teams playing. We had the Conference Cup semi-final against Strathclyde Threes, where the rugby men's won 54-7. And making history, the first time the twos have ever won 10-5 against St Andrews Fours.
That's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The women's hockey had a really tough fixture. They were over playing Edinburgh Napier ones and came away with a 1-0 loss in the Cup as well. And the men's tennis, they had a league fixture against the Aberdeen Twos, and they won 10-2, shooting them back up to second place in the league and only 4 points behind our city rivals Dundee.
Heading over to netball, we had the ones lose 53-50 in a really tightly contested match, and that was against Aberdeen ones. And then we had volleyball, and the men's team, they lost 3-0 to a strong Edinburgh Twos team. That's about it for the results this week. Let's look ahead to the coming week.
So we're hiding out in one of the booths in the library tonight. We're going to chat a bit about the fixtures for next week, is that right?
Yeah, first up we've got basketball. The women's basketball, they're facing Stirling Twos. And then men's basketball, they've got Dundee Ones. And next up, we've got women's football. Now this is the repeat fixture from last week, so they're playing Stirling Twos. And then up next, we've got the men's football twos against St Andrews Threes.
Awesome. Following that, we've got the women's hockey, who are away to Queen Margaret University in the league. And then we've also got men who are home to the Strathclyde Twos team. On top of that, we've got the girls netball. Now they're at home to Aberdeen Twos, so the team below who they played in the league last week. And then we've also got the twos who are away to Heriot Threes in the league as well. So a couple of good fixtures there.
Yeah, fantastic. Next up, we've got the big one against rugby. We've got RGU 1s and RGU 2s who are coming up to Charlotte Street. And this is going to be a huge one because RGU, they're the cup finalists as well. So we're gonna be testing them and seeing what they're up for. Yeah.
Perfect.
And then what's up next?
Well, another big game. In fact, we've got the tennis who are playing Dundee Ones in the league now. As I said earlier, Dundee Ones are sitting top and Abertay are now back into second. It's a really good chance to close it down to 1 point with 1 game remaining. So really excited for that. And then the men's twos are playing away to St Andrews Threes as well, hoping to bounce back after a couple of weeks out of action.
Fantastic. What's up next?
Next we've got our head-to-head, so this week we're going to be picking our main fixtures, what we think. What do you think is going to be the game of the week?
Personally, I would say netball ones against Aberdeen twos.
Yeah?
Yeah, for me it seems like it's a big competition between these two teams, so just be interesting to see what they can get up to.
Good chance for the girls as well to bounce back after a close loss in the week. Looking at that, I think again, you look at women's football. Women's football are playing the same fixture, but you know there's a chance to win the league by beating Stirling. I think this is the last match of the season for them. Hopefully they can go and get a great result and do the job and bring home some more success for Abertay.
Yeah, let's get some support for that.
For the week. So I think all that's left to do is just wish the rest of our teams all the very best for the fixture ahead. Enjoy your feedback week, guys, and we'll catch up with you in 2 weeks' time and not next week.
Fantastic. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys.